Hello, welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me. So I want to change the lock on my security doors because I've lost the keys. So I've bought a new lock, and as you can see on the instructions it says insert the key into the cylinder. Now that's going to be a bit of a problem for me because I don't have a key. So I'm sure a lot of you have come across the same problem, so I'm going to show you how I managed to do it. So the first thing you want to do is you want to take the screws out. So there's one there, and there's one at the top there, and then on the inside of the frame there's one at the top, and the barrel screw is right here in the middle, and then there's one at the bottom. So just remove all the screws. So I've taken the handles off, and as you can see they've got different size holes. So you've got one there which holds the big bolt type thing that the screw screws into, and on the other side it's got the small one, so that one goes in the reverse. So when you're putting it back together, just remember that. As you can see on the locking mechanism, there seems to be quite a lot of dirt around it, so it's very tightly inside there. There's not very much movement on it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spray some WD-40 around it and clean off all that dirt so that I can get a bit of a gap on the side so I can slide my wire through it. So when you look at the new locking mechanism, you'll see it's got a barrel, and this barrel on the side here, just this one here, rotates like that so that it comes out. So 90% of the time your locking mechanism is out like this. So what we have to do is try and get a piece of wire in there so we can put it back into the open position, and then we can just pull the barrel out. I'm going to be using some of this jewellery wire, which is a very thin wire. It's a 24 gauge wire, so it's really thin, because when you have a look at the hole, really tiny to actually get anything through there. So I've got the wire threaded through underneath the barrel, and it's sticking out this side as well. So all I have to do now is pull it, and what we're trying to do is pull it so that the wire goes around there and then up, so that it will release the lock that is down in this section of your door. So that's what I'm going to just do now. Once you've managed to push the locking mechanism up, then you can just push your lock out. So as you can see, it's in the closed position, so now I'm just going to pull it out. If you don't have this small thin wire to insert behind the lock, what you can do is take a torch, put it behind the lock, and then you can see where the locking mechanism is located. I don't know if you can see that. So there's a dark spot there. So what you can do is then drill a tiny hole just where the locking mechanism is, and insert a sharp object, and then just maneuver the lock up until it goes flat against this one. However, the other way is quite a lot easier, using the wire, because it just goes around and pulls it up. So there's my old lock that I've just pulled out, and it is going to take a lot of wiggling and weaving to pull that wire through, but eventually you'll get it through, and then it comes out. And if you haven't used your lock in a very long time, I suggest you spray the inside of it with WD-40 to loosen the mechanism up just a wee bit so that it can actually rotate. Now I can replace the new lock. When you're putting in the new lock, make sure that your opening mechanism is facing towards the door. So now we just have to slot this in. And then put everything back in place. before you tighten it all up, just make sure that your lock is working properly and your opening mechanism is also working. So now I'm just going to put the screws in. As you can remember, we had the big bolt nut goes at the top. Don't tighten the screws too tight because you've got to get these ones in first. And now you can tighten up all the screws. And there's my security lock all in place. If you found this video helpful or you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. Really appreciate it if you would subscribe. Thank you so much for watching.